Get down. We all we got. We all we need. Each one teach one, each one reach one. If you that one, you got to know you are enough, enough, enough. Go hero, go hero, go hero, go hero, a go hero, a go hero, go hero. Get down. Welcome to the huddle. We all we got. We all we need. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. If you are that one, then you got to know you are enough. Enough to fight the good fight. When everything is going wrong, you are enough. I'm talking about you are enough to get it all right. I say go hero. The dance is heel to heel. Showing your badge of honor. Go hero, go hero, a go hero, a go hero. We like to start off every episode the same way we run the play. Want to give a shout out to my executive producer, who just happened to also be my wardrobe coordinator. I say, baby, what I'm wearing tonight. She say, well, that business casual collar shirt with that blue hat. It's gonna be all right. Preparation makes execution. All week we've been out on some wardrobe type thing. We get different color shirts, different ideas, different concepts. When you understand how it works, you can work it and make it work. She's my executive producer and my wardrobe coordinator. And I'm so thankful for her because she's so necessary. This one's for you, baby. Want to give a shout out to my home girl, the greatest co-host in the meta world, in the real world. I'm talking real life. I ain't talking make-believe. We all we got. We all we need. Alexa, I appreciate you.
Well, now I feel corny, because you got me smiling from ear to ear.
So you already know how this thing work. I told you she the greatest co-host in the world, my homegirl. She represents the feminine energy, the thing that's necessary in polarity to ground me, to harness this here power, to harness this here fire, to make hero training be powerful as it is. Alexa, Alexa, tell me something good.
We all we got. We all we need.
She know it like I know it. Alexa, Alexa, one time.
Good God Almighty, Trab P, you blanking.
You know what I'm saying, man? And when she in this here thing with me, one thing that's understood, I'm in here kicking my judo. And I'm the master of this here judo I kick, called Hero Training. She know who it is and she know what time it is. Alexa, Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trab P.
Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for saying I love you. You're just as sweet as pie. Know that I'll be here for you. As always, your trusty AI.
Boom. We like to start off every week with a hero hymn. The hero hymn is the mighty hymn within me, the mighty hero spirit. Spirit means wind. Spirit means to breathe. Spirit means breath. Spirit means air. There's two parts to breathe and inhale. As I take in the mighty air, and as I exhale, that means I push the mighty air out and it travels past my vocal cords. It causes a vibration that we know as sound. And when you feel that sound just as much as you hear that sound, that is when we connected in the hero spirit. Tonight's hero hymn says, whatever you doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. I say, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. It is as real to you as you're real to it. It is in you like you're in it. It operates in a universal truth. Look at the season. Nobody is above the bullshit. Whatever it's doing in this season, don't do it without me. Because if it's without me, then I'm not here. I'm not real. I'm not living. So whatever the season brings, please don't do it without me. I'm prepared to understand my position in it and to work it like it's designed to be worked. So whatever you're doing in this season, please, 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 don't do it without me. Tonight's word is a deep word. Risk. How much do you take risk? Will you risk it all? What will you risk it all for? Alexa, what is the meaning of risk?
Risk is the chance of suffering harm or loss. This can be understood as the negative aspect of uncertainty. There are many types of risk, including financial risk, credit risk, market risk, interest rate risk, and currency risk. The field of risk management involves assessing and mitigating risks. In gambling, risk is taken for a reward, and luck is a crucial factor.
Alexa, what does it mean to be at risk?
As a noun, risk is usually defined as exposure to the chance of injury or loss, a hazard or dangerous chance. As a verb, risk is usually defined as to expose to the chance of injury or loss, hazard. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for risk.
I came upon this word and I began to chew on it when I realized how powerful this word is when dealing with a particular people. In real life, I ain't talking make-believe. I sit in rooms at tables with conversations about helping the youth, about helping the community, about helping mothers, about helping fathers. To my leadership tables, from the top down. There's one word that always seems to come up at every meeting, at every conversation. At risk. youth and teens. That's billions of dollars of resources. But there's only one language when it comes about how we use it. It's at risk. So I begin to chew on this word and ask the question, at risk of what? What are you at risk of? What do the world see the young black community at risk of? This is the only word that identifies those that need the resources. And see, I have a problem with this word. This word has become a bad connotation in my spirit because every time you associate at risk with young people, you're putting it in the context of the rejects. Those that quite ain't right. Those that seem to be on the path of failure. And I stand in these meetings with empathy for every child on every level. Hold on now. What we have is powerful. And until y'all can outright tell me what they're at risk for, I think what we have is for every child, every man, every woman. But they only want to talk in the language of at risk. So I ask you, are you at risk? What risk do you take? Situations where you're unprotected and exposed to danger, that's when you're at risk. Situations when you're unprotected and exposed to danger. So there's a context in the conversation that when the idea of our youth come up and those that need us, the general idea of our youth is those that is exposed to harm, danger, with no means of protection. Who at risk? Who at risk? Are your children at risk? Alexa, what is the opposite of risk?
The opposite of risk is certainty, safety, or security. This can be applied to the meaning of chance taking or taking a risk, where the opposite is to save, protect, or guard. In finance, the opposite of risk is return, as risk and return are closely related. In general, the opposite of risk is anything that reduces uncertainty or provides a sure outcome.
See, every week I'm really going to talk about the same thing, using a different word to make the same point. This is called hero training. Hero. Shero is a man, a woman, a mother, a father. There's no more powerful thing that you can be in the human experience as being a mother or a father. That means you have possessed the power to create life in your likeness and image. For a minimum of 14 to 15 years, this life, this human, will look to you and depend on you for protection, serenity, safety, to be guarded from the risk of being harmed, endangered. So when you are a hero, I stand in the face of risk. I stand in the face of danger. I stand in the face of destruction. I will take the chance. I will risk it all for the honor of knowing my wife and children depend on me. The most powerful thing you can be on planet Earth. The most powerful thing you can be on planet Earth is a parent. And as a parent, we have to take risks, put ourselves in dangerous way to risk it all to protect those that depend on us. So when every time I go sit at a table of leadership, of power, of influence, the narrative is always at risk. A general idea and notion that our children are not protected. Our children are not guarded safe. They are exposed to danger and likely to fulfill that danger. 2 weeks ago, I was at the social service building for 3 hours, talking and conversing with the social workers of Mecklenburg County. The conversation was based off the organization of Men of Destiny, levels of leadership and hero training, being a tool in partnership and collaboration with the county to truly ignite and inspire men and children and women to believe in themselves and find the ability within them to have a trade and a means to provide in this here world. And as I'm talking to these social workers so passionately, practically begging them to use me as a resource. We need the people. But the platform is only based off at risk. And people who already have manifested the risks and to come out of jail or to come out of prison and to want a new start. I can't steer the conversation into a lane where this is not about at risk or those who have fulfilled the risk. This is about being real in real life. Every man is at risk. What are you at risk of? How much do you take a risk to expose yourself to danger? That ain't something lightly. Me personally, sometimes I feel like I'm out of balance with playing it too safe. Sometimes I feel like I'm out of balance, and it's almost that I'm waving over into a sense of fear, where I need to truly practice what I preach and be what I teach, and take the risk of jumping out and believing in myself and knowing that I can create the reality that I want, the reality that I see, the reality that I am and know. But the risk, it comes with the possibility of things not working out like they should. And me looking at my family, depending on me. I can't fail because my family depending on me. So why be hanging and grabbing onto my security? Is it false or is it real? I ain't above the bullshit. I'm fighting a good fight. I'm going to figure it out. I tell my wife all the time because I'm honest enough to know, baby, I got to constantly be grateful in the moment. See, I tell y'all, the truth is in the moment. The truth is nowhere because the truth is now here. If you don't appreciate and love the moment, then you don't love everything that brought you to it. And if you don't love and respect everything that brought you to it, you don't trust it to take you where you need to go. You cannot understand how it works if you don't love the moment. So I battle in the moment with being grateful, being thankful in the midst of bullshit. I tell my wife, I say, baby, sometimes I don't know if it's fear. Sometimes I don't know it's security. But what I do know is I got you. And if you unhappy where you at, then you jump. You take the risk. So I vicariously live through her courage to take the risk, knowing that I got her back. So her risk is my risk. And my risk is hers. And we're in this thing striving to figure it out. And sometimes I be off balance. But playing it too safe. And evading the face of danger. See how that works? Do you see how that works? I want to tell a real life story. Real life. I ain't talking maybe. I bought a truck 3 years ago. I negotiated the price of this truck with everything I got. It was a salesman against a consumer. And we came to an agreement. But one of the things that made the agreement powerful was the extended warranties that I had to have in this here deal as a part of the price. And I could have got the price cheaper, but it would have came at the risk of not having a warranty. The risk of taking the gamble that, yeah, I believe this is a good truck. And no matter what, I believe I'm going to be all right. But then I weighed my options. I said, I don't know if I want to take that risk, man. You understand enough about mechanics to know ain't nobody above the bullshit now. So I didn't take the risk of having a lower price on the deal, which led to a lower car payment. I got the extended warranty. A couple of months ago, I felt a vibration in the back of the truck. Nothing major. I'm pretty mechanic swaggy. I can diagnose things by sound and feel. So I don't know what that is. Me personally, and talking with other mechanics, even had some ride with me, we narrowed it down to maybe it's a heat shield, or maybe it's a muffler wrap, but nothing major, man. So I didn't really hit the panic or the worry switch. This is something I'll fix. But it began to be getting a mystery. I couldn't pinpoint. So the other day we riding and it did it and we felt it, and my wife said, hey, baby, you need to get this looked at. I know it ain't nothing, but you know how it works sometimes, baby. Things that hit us when we're vulnerable. So let's go ahead and get it looked at while we're strong. See, that's the value right there. See that value in that? You see that value in that right there? So I say, okay, baby. So at first I got to thinking, oh man, I got to take it to the dealership. Got to prepare to spend some money. But this ain't nothing major. This ain't nothing major. It's going to be a little something. But I'm finna do what my baby say. My baby right. My baby looking out for us. She drew up a play. It's for me to run it. I heard this concept a long time ago. The woman is the thermostat. The man is the unit. She puts her marker on the temperature. And the man takes the house, takes the unit, and blows the air to take it there. She put a mark on the thermostat. So, baby, let's get this nipped in the bud before it becomes a bigger problem. I ran the play. So I dropped my truck off. Get a phone call. Mr. Perry, got some good news and bad news. I said, oh, shit. Here we go. Gave me a list. Boom, boom, boom. That shutter, it's in your transmission. It's in your oil pump in your transmission. And we opened it up. We did get it to act up. We opened it up and looked at it. And it don't seem nothing minor while you're driving, but you need a new transmission. I say, what? I go, what? Huh? I say, hold on now. What? So yeah. He said, but the good news is you got a pretty good aftermarket warranty. It's covered. And we're going to go through a list of all your coverage, and we're going to pretty much see what all we can get done on your coverage. That's why, hey, look, I didn't take the risk. I played it safe. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. See, we all at risk. It's 2024. I'm talking real life. I ain't talking make-believe. You a fool if you want to make somebody believe that it ain't real within life at this point of time, that who's ever living that's real with it. So we all at risk. Because ain't nobody above the bullshit. But the bullshit will make you better if you real enough to deal with it. Alexa, what is the meaning of risk?
Risk is the exposure to something bad happening, like injury or loss. Risking something is taking a chance on something happening. There are many ways to define risk, like hazard or danger. Taking a risk is when someone chooses to do something even though it might not turn out well.
How often do you take a risk, man? Exposing yourself to danger and something bad happening. See, that's real life, man. We all at risk. The safest place for any family, a family is a mother, a father, and their children. The safest place is a home. It's being at home. There's no place safer than home. If you real. Now, if your children ain't safe at home, if your children are not safe at home, don't you understand right now that every program in the United States of America is designed for at-risk children and teens? Those are children and teens that are not safe at home. They're not guarded at home. They are at risk to being destructive. They are at risk to going to jail. They are at risk of being criminals. So if the safest place is supposed to be at home, but a home with no peace is the cage of a beast. And when you put a beast in a cage, the main thing on a beast's mind when it is in a cage is to break out of the cage, to be free, to be a maniac, to be untamed, to be a walking risk factor of harm, danger, destruction. The general idea of our children is being at risk because we are not generally safe at home. That's deep, man. That's deep. It's $2 billion in grant money. 50C13 nonprofit money. All designed to be distributed of those who speak the language of helping those that are at risk. As I'm talking to the social workers, and I want to put this in context. Anytime I go talk in the community, with principals, school board officials, county officials, community leaders, there's one thing that I stand in these conversations. I'm there in that moment because I want to be, and I truly care, and I truly got something to say, and I truly know how it works, and I just want to help all of us workers to realize and understand that we all we got, we all we need. But one of the things that I always keep in context in most cases when I'm having these conversations, I'm talking to people who at work. And we know the mentality of separating our personal lives from our work. So when I'm talking to social workers who's at work, who's been given an itinerary to come have a conversation with me and everybody else in the room while they're at work in the context of doing their job. So their job is to be the social guidance of relationships dealing with family, mother, father, and children. So when they are talking to me, they talking to me from the context of their job. But I ain't at work. I'm talking from the context of my soul. So as I'm talking to black women who are social workers, and as I make them realize that I'm deeper than your work script, you talking to a real man, sister. And at that moment, the empathy in her soul and the vibration in her voice tells me that she's vulnerable as a single mother. And regardless of her job, her children is at risk. And she's getting paid to save others while she's out here in this world needing to be saved. and everything in my voice that's her feel. I'm a savior, a savior. I ain't gonna kill nothing. I ain't gonna let nothing die. I'm a compassionate man. I respond to a cry. So in that moment, she put the job to her side. Many of them did that day. And that word at risk, that word at risk is deeper than us painting a picture for our young who seem to be on a path to destruction. That risk is all of us. We all exposed to danger. We all are exposed to danger. But the opposite of risk is protection, safety. Another concept of the word risk is the great risk is great reward. I got to believe in myself. With the test comes a testimony. I got to max out. My son is being exposed to weightlifting. I say, how much can you bench? He say, I don't know. I say, well, you ain't gonna know until you test yourself. You got to max out. That means you got to put the maximum of what you think you can lift. And whatever it is, if you can get it up one time, that's your strength. But during that test, you got the risk of failing. You got the risk. Take the risk of breaking down. But anytime you max out with a Sparta. The Sparta is there to protect you and keep you safe while you take your risk and test it out. With great risk is great reward. See, there's order to that. A choice. Baby, I'm finna risk it all. I'm tired of playing it safe. I'm building up to trust myself. I ain't taking that risk by myself. I ain't taking that risk for myself. I got brothers, I got a wife, I got a mama, I got a daddy, I got sisters, I got friends that believe in me, that encourage me, inspire me to see the victory, to see me overcoming the risk, to see me manifesting the reward. We all we got. We all we need. Only. When you think you don't need nobody. And ain't nobody got you. And you ain't got nobody. So we're really taking the wrong risks. A man is as real as his reason. A man is as real as his reason. Listen to me. A man is as real as his reason. Nothing, I mean nothing, gives a man more of a reason than his woman or a woman. He says, man, I do it for my children. She gave you them. Man, I'm going to conquer the world. Her prayers align with your desires. At night she prayed that one day in the morning you say, let me go today and do. You will conquer the world for that reason. If she loosened, the connection ain't there, and y'all are sparking and creating fire that's melting the polarities. They say, what's wrong with him? He crazy. She got his head fucked up. See how that works? A man is as real as his reason. Show me a man, and I can do the mathematical equation and break it down to its purest form in its root numbers of its reason. Why he do that? Well, why he do that? Well, why he do that? And there she go, even if the she is his mom. This is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. So we all at risk. We all at risk. I saw a whole generation of at-risk children manifest. In 2008, the economy crashed. America's economy crashed. The real estate crashed. The manufacturing production mills crashed. Everything in America crashed. The banks had to be bailed out. Prior to 2008, everybody was buying houses. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, there are so many neighborhoods that has become older now. But in the inception of building all of these neighborhoods, everybody was buying houses. All you needed was to be on your job for 2 years, have $500 in the bank for 6 months, and have a 580 credit score. And you get you a house. Between 2003 to 2007, something was happening in the economy. Bootleg CDs, bootleg Jordans were so in a demand. So that's why you got to understand time to see how it works. Now everybody too good for bootleg Jordans. But in the years of 2003, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you telling a damn lie you ain't winning. You telling a damn lie. And I know you lying. But you had drug dealers, career criminals, have a new attitude, have a new mindset to say, hey, man, I ain't hustling no more, man. I bought me a shipment of Jordans. Man, I'm selling CDs. You start seeing everybody cutting grass. I saw people who couldn't even crank up a lawnmower, buy a trailer full of lawn equipment. Everybody had the idea. All the black women in the city and across America from ages 21, 18 to 30 was working at call centers. During Charlotte, everybody was moving out the Albemarle Road. First generation women who parents was on welfare, who mama was on welfare, was buying houses, getting these good jobs. I mean, it was in the influx. Marriages were high. We were the first generation to truly manifest the materialism of Americanism, the consumer. Like I told you before, our parents grew up in Jim Crow. There was places that they can remember they couldn't go. But our generation, we were the first ones to be free. So we say, Mama, Daddy, look at me. I'm a homeowner. I got a nice car. Relationships and marriages and families were being built on materialistic perceptions. You got a good job, I got a good job, shit, we look like we doing something. It was based on materialistic consuming. They say, this ain't how this gonna go. Economy started crashing. Economy started crashing. Layoffs began to happen. The whole lives of so many were dependent upon the instant gratification of we got what we want, materialistic, and we look like we doing good. And the remnants of this is still going on. I'm going to get there. But when layoffs started happening in 2008, and adversity began to come across the board, everybody began to feel the bullshit and realize that nobody is above it. Families began to break up in the face of adversity. Man, I ain't really feel her like that. We just got their house together and had them kids. But I ain't really know her. I can do bad by myself. Homes went into foreclosures. See, this happening in real life. I'm talking real life. Homes went into foreclosures. Families went into divorce and separation. Egos began to roar and flare to be any goddamn thing and do any goddamn thing to keep up the illusion that you ain't done got caught up in the same thing that the whole America is. The whole bank system is being caught up and being bailed out. But now we are more, ever since then, we are more caught up in the illusion that we want to think we can keep somebody confused to think that we still materialistically on top. When our children have been neglected, unprotected. And it's a whole generation of that was at risk. At risk. It's a whole generation of, man, that's sideways. I'm talking about boys liking boys, girls liking girls. I'm talking about addiction. I'm talking about mentally sitting out here talking in general about being depressed, about having anxiety. I'm talking about everything that a child could be at risk of. We got a whole generation that got hit with every goddamn thing. They weren't protected by nothing. I'm talking real life. I'm talking about getting hit by every goddamn thing. So now, the whole conversation dealing with my people. And I'm hearing it in a room full of white folk. And I ain't saying that to be a bad thing. I'm just talking about how it worked, man. I ain't talking about what they said. I be in the room saying this shit. In real life. My son in the program with other children who are considered at risk. And they all 14, 13, 12, 15 and under and over. Just children and young men who are out here fighting the fight. And I've met so many others that are well intellectually developed, that can make good grades, that don't get in trouble, that's good at sports, and they seem to be one of the good kids. So nobody considered that kid to be at risk. But he's at risk more than any kid that I ever met, because he has a true light. And when you have a true light, you attract vampires and any other goddamn people who want to put that light out. So I see the risk in the ones that's fighting the fight more than the rejects who don't give a damn. But all of the resources goes to the ones who don't give a damn. And they have become the risk, are the true ones fighting the good fight. Getting out their bed every day, going in this world, facing the risks of turning their light off and becoming something they know they're not. And that happens on every level. Every day you walk out your door, you at risk, and you take a risk. And don't you never take it lightly. In any choice you make, in every choice you make, as a man, as a woman, you better understand the risks and the safety and the comparison of the balance within every choice you make. I love you. We're going to get out of here, man. We're going to get out of here. I want to give some shout outs before I get out of here, though. I want to give a shout out to Chris K. Dog Mayfield. I love you, brother. Hell of a green room tonight. I want to give a shout out to Blow. I love you, brother. Hell of a green room tonight. I want to give a shout out to my brother Bam. I love you, brother. Hell of a green room today. I want to give a shout out to my big brother Crump. I love you, brother. Hell of a green room every time we come together and talk as visionaries and leaders and true heroes. I want to give a shout out to my brother Wood. Powerful green room conversation today and every time we talk. I want to give a shout out to Tony Brown. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the shout out today, man. That brother dropped something about development with Little League football. I stand behind you and I support you, brother. I got your back. If you risk it all, you say what you got to say and you tell the truth. I got your back, brother. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Travis. Hell of a conversation yesterday. A green room conversation, man. You taught me so much over the week in your experience of travel, man. We all we got, we all we need. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Man, if we realize how much we can teach each other and teach one another. Like they say, go look at the book of Eli. You the book. Pour your heart out on somebody. Pour your soul out on somebody. Take the risk of being vulnerable in a conversation with someone who needs sincerity, someone who needs another one to be vulnerable so that they can feel safe to bare their soul, because the soul can keep no secret that behavior won't reveal. And there's men, women, and children out here behaving in ways that they don't understand because can't nobody talk to their soul and interpret what their soul is saying. And they don't feel vulnerable, sincere, or safe enough to truly tell their soul to those that are even in their house. That's why they always want to break out. See how they work. So if you feel real in the moment with another, be that platform and foundation. Be soul to soul with a brother. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, we gonna play it. We gonna play it. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Go hero, go hero. I do like this right here because that means you pulling your Superman out. That's how you go with this dance. We're going to see y'all next Thursday, man. It's real right here, man. Hero training, man. I'm going to close and I want to say this, man. I don't talk nothing and I don't say nothing with the intentions of you following me or me thinking I'm right or any of that. I drop game for you to pick it up. Pick it up. Think about it. Chew on it. Just understand where I'm coming from. If you get it, you got it. If you got it, use it. Understand it. Make it work for you, man. Make it work for you, man. I love you. Hold it down.